The camera. It's really come a long way since the 18th century. Today, it's used in so many ways, it's hard for me to name them all, but keeping in line with disregarding societal taboos, I'm going to discuss a few ways cameras have been adapted for purposes of government surveillance. What can I really say about this man that you don't already know? This is Edward Snowden, former Central Intelligence Agency employee and recognized whistleblower. If you will, he was responsible for the leaks that made the topic of government surveillance go mainstream. This is Julian Assange, founder of WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks! I love WikiLeaks!
On March 7, 2017, WikiLeaks released Vault 7, the largest ever series of publications to date of confidential documents derived from the intelligence community detailing methods of surveillance. Now, say what you will about Snowden or Assange, but for many, they helped people to wake up to what others have known or at least suspected for years, the fact that the government has been actively surveying, listening, watching, and all around monitoring the public in various ways, not just in America, but other countries like China and Russia. Surveillance and invasion of privacy is a long-enduring, incredibly vast subject that could never be accurately summarized in one video. Though it can be closely depicted in a literary masterpiece or motion picture, understanding how truly invasive surveillance can be proves rather difficult. There's this notion that if you aren't doing anything wrong, you should have nothing to hide. The problem is, these surveillance programs and applications aren't simply aimed at political dissidents or domestic terrorists. Again, they're aimed at civilian populations, but what could some of these methods of surveillance look like, and can you realistically trace the technology back to, say, an intelligence agency? In 2001, John Hank founded the software company Keyhole Inc., which helped to develop the 3D imaging technology based on geospatial data collected via high-altitude airships. This is the same imaging technology incorporated into Google Maps and Google Earth after Google purchased Keyhole Inc. in 2004. Keyhole Inc. received funding from In-Q-Tel, the CIA-established venture capital firm responsible for investing in national security and information gathering technologies used to expand the U.S. intelligence community's sphere of influence. Now, John Hank, the same man whose company is tied to both Google and the CIA, founded Niantic, the developer of Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go had over 40 million downloads within weeks of the app's release, all of who undoubtedly read this before clicking I agree. We cooperate with government and law enforcement officials or private parties to enforce and comply with the law. We may disclose any information about you or your authorized child that is in our possession or control to government or law enforcement or private parties as we, in our sole discretion, believe necessary or appropriate, A, to respond to claims, legal processes, including subpoenas. B, to protect our property rights and safety and the property rights and safety of a third party or the public in general. And C, to identify and stop any activity that we consider illegal, unethical, or legally actionable. So while many thought they were just engaging in harmless entertainment, they were likely broadcasting personal information and high-resolution, data-rich images containing location, date, and timestamps, effectively composing GPS layouts and virtual maps wherever the augmented reality function was used. Like Pokemon Go, there are numerous examples of seemingly harmless and secure technology. For quite a while, privacy activists have been warning about the reprehensible ways in which seemingly innocuous technology can be used to monitor you, and photo-sharing apps are no exception. The various facial filter overlays of apps like Snapchat can be fun, but have you ever wondered about those grids? Snapchat uses a feature that tracks and identifies your face using grids, which helps to enable the app to overlay in somewhat real-time facial filters, much like facial recognition software. But just how far has facial tracking software come? This is the real-time facial tracking and projection mapping program known as Emote, led by Nobumichi Asai and a team of digital designers, CGI experts, and makeup artists. Utilize a combination of graphics and photons incorporated into a projection mapping sequence, and you get Emote, It uses light that can be applied as a photonic makeup that allows the transformation of one's visage into mesmerizing abstract visuals. However, video capturing devices paired with a facial recognition apparatus could be used for more reprehensible purposes than just entertainment. Here's another real-time facial identification program, the real-time face capture and reenactment software developed by the University of Erlangen-Nuremberg, the Institute of Informatics, and Stanford University. What you're seeing is a demonstration of the capabilities of modern computer vision and graphics technology. This kind of tech is often portrayed as approachable and fun, while in the background it can and is being used against the public. The first person arrested using Chicago's police new facial recognition technology has been sentenced to 22 years in prison, according to the Chicago Sun-Times. Pierre D. Martin, 35, was arrested for 2 armed robberies on Chicago's public transportation system. He was found with a new facial recognition technology the Chicago Police Department started using last year, which, going by the date of the article, would be 2013, meaning they've been testing it for years before that. And here's something from June 13th, 2017. UK police recently made their first arrest using facial recognition software following a series of trials at large-scale public events. According to authorities, the man was arrested 3 days prior to the UAEA Champions League final June 3rd, while South Wales police conducted their most recent experiment with the high-tech surveillance. Cameras linked to facial recognition software were located around the stadium, local train station, and designated police vehicles to monitor people in and around the city center. But let me try to tie all this together. Not long ago, when someone broke into a house or their property was vandalized, the owner would pop in the VHS tape or DVD and try to figure out what happened. Today, in a lot of cases, the security cameras monitoring property are linked directly to the cloud, meaning, for the intelligence community, there's a vast network of cameras that can be utilized for purposes of sophisticated mass surveillance. In part, this system is indeed designed to identify and eliminate threats to the established order. However, the threats to the established order aren't peace-hating religious extremists. No, the real threat? Free-thinking individuals who don't accept whatever narrative the powers who think they are decide to propound.
But Callie Carter, this technology is used to more efficiently catch dastardly criminals, keeping you safe.
Well, with that kind of inescapable logic, who could argue? Look, we may very well see a scenario where whistleblowers, investigators, truthers, and those simply skeptical of the standard model are tracked, identified, and, if necessary, neutralized. This all just seems like a precursor to thought crimes, the pre-identification of criminal activity based on a set of arbitrary predetermined criteria or algorithms. Like, share, subscribe. I'm signing off until next week.